Okay. I really need to learn to turn this mount sideways so I can see the full name of whoever's talking to me. But, what's up? So, well, I figured out what happened yesterday. I had set the loading screen, the streaming soon screen, while I stepped outside, got some air, came back in, and I think I just reflexively, when I switched over to the stream, I clicked what I thought was the start stream button, not knowing that I had already set the stream to start streaming, and I killed the stream. So you basically missed, I want to say, yeah, this mission, and this mission. So these three missions right here you missed. So I'll summarize that real quick, and if enough people comment and they want to actually see those as part of the playthrough, I'll go back and play those missions. So this one was dumb. It was all three of these are these open combat missions, which are so fucking dumb. It's basically Warzone. It's just the gaming. The game developers just got lazy with it, just like, we'll do Warzone. We'll have all these arbitrary weapons, da 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 da. And I went looking at one point to see who the tech advisors were on this, and I can't find anybody named. Which, honestly, I wonder if that leads me to believe that the tech advisors gave their advice and these guys just chucked it aside. Which, if I was a tech advisor and my advisors checked aside for this final product, I wouldn't want my name on it either. So I don't blame them for that. Here's a compromise. We'll watch these. Yeah, we'll watch these three cutscenes real quick. Watch this one, and this one. This will give you a quick summary of what we missed on the last stream because of my fuck up, and then we'll get into the mission and kind of hope that this campaign ends, because I don't think it's going to get better.
Даже Шеду можно сломать.
Сломать можно кого угодно.
Если не Шеду добрались до Милены, то кто?
Прайс. Вся его королевская рать.
Не без помощи Шеду.
Это просто взаимно выгодное отношение, уверяю тебя.
Нам надо немедленно проработать информацию, полученную от пленного. Поручите это мне.
Нет, ты мне нужен здесь. Дивиде et Impera. Раз они нашли Милену, они могут найти и нас.
А вы думаете, им что-то еще известно?
Что-то еще известно, я безвреден.
Если они придут, то мы их встретим.
Я хочу, чтобы все знали, что мы ни перед кем не остановимся. Мужчины они, женщины или дети. Ясно?
Предельно ясно.
Если разведданные от нашего друга Shadow подтвердятся, ты первый об этом узнаешь. А если нет? Убей его, блядь!
We broke Romanova. How?
Enhanced financial interrogation.
Shepard's intel paid off.
What's our intel now?
What do we have that's actionable?
One of Romanova's many shell companies purchased an abandoned apartment complex in St. Petersburg for the Coney Group.
When?
Recently. Probably a Coney outpost. That'd be my bet, Captain.
I located the building. Recent SAT imagery shows a recovery balloon on the roof.
Only good reason for that is quick removal of something you don't want found. Or someone.
The complex is a maze.
Guys will sweep from the bottom up. I'll overwatch the rooftop with fire support.
How do we extract?
Helo's too risky. You boys catch anything worth bringing home? Nick will pull you out via fixed wing.
The balloon.
Skyhook.
If Makarov's there. Get him, Bravo.
6 to watcher, drone is up. You should have visual.
Eyes on, John.
Got multiple Coney troops on the roof of the north building. No sign of Makarov.
Who's our boy holding court?
He appears to be in charge.
I'll run it down. See if we can identify him.
Copy. Guys, you in position?
Okay, so yeah, I remember now. What's so dumb about that? What was so dumb about that mission, aside from the Warzone element, was Gaz is black, and Russia is incredibly fucking racist. If I'm assuming this must happen in an alternate universe where Russia doesn't invade Ukraine, because one or two things would happen if Gaz went to Russia like they have, and then he's all kitted up and stuff. Especially the kit. The kit would narrow it down to one option, but they see a black man walking the streets. One or two things is going to happen. One, he's going to get detained by FSB because they're going to assume he's an American or a Brit, and then they're going to fucking rough him up because they assume that he must be Westerner. Or if this happens in our universe, they're going to snatch him up, force him to sign a contract, and send him to the front in Ukraine. That's one of the two things that would happen with him. They're going to strap a bomb on his chest and send him to the front. So that's part of why, like in my Forsaken Patriots series, one of the things that I knew I wanted the original plan was to take the series to Russia, have the main character end up infiltrating Russia, to take the fight to the Russians directly. And you can't do that if the character's black. He's going to stand out. So I made him a white dude. And so that just ignores any kind of reality on the ground in Russia. Like, that's not how that would work. Even if, like, this takes place in an alternate universe where the Russians don't invade Ukraine, or if this is a post-Ukraine world as far as the Ukraine war, that say the Russians are pushed back into Russia, they would still harbor that racism and that paranoia. So there's no way. Russia is a non-permissive environment in the best of circumstances, and you can't blend in as a black man in that country, so you're not in the best of circumstances on that one. So that was dumb. Having them all fully kitted up, running around in Russia's dumb. But even dumber than that was they're trying to portray modern warfare here. And that's where you're seeing a lot more drone usage, because we've seen that. Like, the Ukrainians have really revolutionized drone warfare, and unfortunately the Russians have copied them. But if this happened in a world where the Russians did invade Ukraine in this world, there is no way you were... That's like... that drone that Price was flying was essentially a Mavic drone. Like, it's not exactly a Mavic drone, but it's like Mavic class. It's the same kind of drone. It's a commercial drone. Commercial size drone anyway. Man portable. Not a huge drone. But there's no way you are flying it that fucking close to them. Like, that was like, 50 feet overhead. They're hearing that drone. They're going to scatter and fucking duck. Like, that was so fucking stupid. I saw that because having studied the conflict, I looked at that and I was like, that is so goddamn stupid. That is like the stupidest thing I've seen in this fucking game so far. So, and it led me to another rant I had that I didn't get to record, where I said, right now, like, most tech advisors in the Western world are like Western GWOT veterans. And it makes sense. We had 20 years of war. But I'm hoping soon we could get Ukrainian defenders as tech advisors, like people that have served in the front and then gotten out. I would love to hear their perspectives. I especially would love to hear the perspectives of Ukrainian drone pilots and Ukrainian infantry, and incorporate those in the games. Now, I say that with a caveat. It might be too soon. Like, Ukrainians may or may not feel comfortable with that, and that might go off of individual experience. Like, Ukrainians are not a monolith. So it could be maybe they're really comfortable with the idea of sharing that. Maybe they're very uncomfortable and they're like, nah, it's too close. We don't want to put it in a video game. But people cope with traumas in different ways. A good example is the game 6 Days of Fallujah. It recently came out, but that game was originally in development in the 2000s, just a couple of years after the Battle of Fallujah. And those veterans... they were originally, if I remember correctly, working on a video game that was supposed to be a training aid for the United States military. But the more they got talking with the developers and telling their stories of Fallujah, the more they wanted to capture those experiences. And they were the ones that were like, yeah, we want to incorporate this in the video game. And obviously it was very controversial back in the 2000s. The game got shut down, but then fast forward another 10, 15 years, finally they get the game off the ground, and they brought those veterans back and interviewed them, and they were like, yeah, we were really keen to make this game. So it's not outside the realm of possibility that maybe a Ukrainian defender would like to tell their story through the video game medium. So like I said, it could go that way. It could be, hey, this is too soon, don't gamify our experience, and that would be completely legitimate and completely respectful. So I get that. I get both perspectives on that. But eventually, hopefully after Ukraine wins the war and we get to an actual modern warfare game, don't talk to GWOT veterans. Like, our war was yesteryear at this point. Like, we're rapidly slipping into my war being Vietnam, and this is now the late 80s and early 90s. So we're actually, well, shit. Actually, that's not a bad comparison now. Like, I just realized in 2 years, well, shit, it's been 18 years, 19 years. No, 18 years. It'll be 18 years this year. It's been 18 years since I deployed to Iraq. So, yeah, that's actually like someone in the 90s with Vietnam. That's about how much time has passed since been in combat. So, I feel like that is if you want to actually capture modern warfare, you need to talk to the guys that are actually fighting the modern wars. So with that little drone flying right above their heads, that was stupid. That was really fucking stupid. So, yeah, that whole mission, I'm just running around picking up guns, and then it was such a, the way that they've done this game, like, they've fallen so far, because Modern Warfare 1, which I would love to download that game and do a playthrough on the channel here. Wasn't perfect, but it was really good, and it had a lot of good aspects. And I feel like the further we got away from that, the stupider it got. So, yeah, that's a summary of what happened there. So you go in there, you fucking find Nolan, which that's a really strange name for a Russian. Or maybe I'm speaking from ignorance. Maybe it is a Russian surname that I'm not aware of. But yeah, you capture him, you skyhook out, and then it leads to this cutscene.
What's the state of play with Nolan?
He's less conversational than he was.
More of the silent type now.
They're at war with the world, that's for sure.
He's got blind faith in Makarov.
Makarov needs him. Been contacting him nonstop. He knows something's wrong.
You intercepted their comms?
Affirmative. Nolan got quiet, but his radio and phone speak volumes.
What do we know?
They're delivering someone or something to an abandoned Soviet prison complex.
Where?
Siberia.
When?
Tomorrow.
This is our shot at Makarov.
Well, no guarantees he's there.
I'll take that chance.
I knew you would. Nick can get you in and out.
I want everyone on this, including Farah. Next to Ghost, she's the best sniper I know.
You can pick her up on the way. I'll relay.
We'll need C4 and dry gear.
We're getting wet.
So is Makarov.
Watcher to 07, give me a sit rep.
07 in position with Kilo. Bravo's in the water.
Copy. Where's our incoming?
Convoy approaching southeast. 4 vehicles.
Any sign of Makarov?
No PID, but high security.
Okay, so yeah, that mission, I can't remember. That one was not an open combat dumbass mission, but let me see. I think we'll watch this one. This one will pop up when we start the game. So you go on the convoy. You find out it's not Makarov that's there, but it's General Shepard. He was captured, and you have to fight your way out. And yeah, it was. You fight your way out, and you take out some more Coney group, and then you get to your helicopter, and then. But I will say the opening to the game. The opening to that mission, rather, interesting. It was, they go in there swimming under the ice, which you got to have some really good dry gear for that. Really, really good to maintain because like you could die swimming in that ice cold water. But they see the convoy is driving over the ice sheet, so they put C4 on the ice, blow the ice, sink the fucking sink the cars, break open the window, pull out the bag person, and then all of a sudden you see, oh shit, that's fucking General Shepard. He was captured. So then basically you have to fight your way out, and then oh, that was the other thing. They were wearing a lot of snipers were wearing thermal absorbent gear, which I don't know. I'd have to research. I'm sure that we've seen this in Ukraine. I'd have to research how effective those are, but basically, like, you were running thermal optics and they weren't popping up at all. They were blending in with the background. And I'm not sure how effective that is. Let me check. I'm kind of curious about this now. Absorbent. Materials effective against thermal imagery in cold environments. Okay, so yeah, okay, that so what I'm seeing, let's see this real quick. Let me see what the source is on this. Apparently, the problem is that initially you throw the thermal imagery, the thermal blanket, or they were wearing just thermal suits, which I think this actually makes it even more relevant. So this is assuming you've got like a thermal blanket that you're throwing over in a static position. And the problem with that, because it's saying even with a thermal blanket like that, eventually your body heat is going to heat up that material and it will like cause a rise in temperature. It will still mitigate your thermal signature, but you're still going to show a slight difference between the ground around you and that thermal blanket area. So with a thermal blanket, that's a concern. Now, these guys are wearing thermal absorbent, like parkas and overwhites and all that stuff. And now that just makes the case even more apparent now, because now these guys are walking around, they're running from point to point. Like, their body is heating up, and it's only going to block so much that it's going to heat up the material. They might stand out less than if you're just wearing a regular coat, but you're still going to stand out under thermal imagery to a degree. There's going to be a slight difference that you could spot. So, but they had these guys essentially, oh, I threw on thermal absorbent gear. It's stealth camouflage. And so that's another one they didn't do their fucking research on.
Own up. Tell us everything.
You know everything.
Congress doesn't. And I bet they'd
They'd be all ears, wouldn't they, eh?
That's it?
No.
You clear my name. Tell them.
Keep the prisoner focused.
On their own self-preservation and eventually...
Okay, I'm going to try to stop the stream and restart it because... Okay, let's try that again. I don't know.